Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bugga and I'm coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2. We're continuing our run today, and the only thing I know for sure is where the run's going to start. That's where we stopped last time. Don't know where it's going to end. We made a lot more distance than I thought we would, so this should prove interesting, to say the least. I'm kind of having a mixed week this week. We have rain. I forgot we have rain. Okay, our lights are on. Those lights are on. Parking brake is off. We're in gear. So, in order to make up for something impulsive I did, at least a little bit, instead of paying for my Eve accounts this month, I'm plexing them instead. If you don't know what Plex is in Eve, it's a thing that you can buy, that you can sell and trade in-game for in-game currency. You can buy it for real money and trade it for in-game money. It's not the first. Well, it may be. I don't know how long it's been in. It may be one of the first instances of something like that happening. It may not. I don't know. But I know it's not original anymore. There are plenty of things that you can buy out of games and trade them for in-game stuff. So, in various games. But give me a sec. My allergies are acting up. So, in order to save myself $45 this month, I plexed my accounts. And I actually laugh a little bit because I was really grumbly that I had to spend my hard-earned in-game money to fix my accounts. And I kind of came to the realization that I'm a little bit more financially responsible in the game of Eve than I am in my real life. And it was both funny and depressing at the same time. So anyways, I had plexed my accounts. And then, are all our lights on? Maybe excuse me for just one sec. I'm just wondering if all my lights are on. F4? No, they're not. The front and auxiliary lights are not on. I didn't think we were lighting up enough of the road. Yeah, so anyways, I was grumbly about that because it's 2.4 billion for 3 plexes, you know. But hilarity kind of ensued today as I had a decent day doing things. It's kind of like I always get that one lucky strike every so often, and this week I think I'm using up all my luck as I'm just getting lucky strike after lucky strike. 2 days ago I did 150 million in exploration in just one session, and then the evening following I did another 150 million, and then last night I decided to poke around before going to bed, and I think I did, including what I got from exploration, which was very little, I actually did another 185 million. All in all, I'm sitting just over 2 billion grand totals. I'm not like completely in my container that I use. I take everything and I put it in a separate container so I can keep track of roughly how much I have. Um, and I think it's at like 1.6 or 7 or something like that, billion ISK. But I've also had the luck of having 2 Rattlesnake blueprints drop. Rattlesnakes, very good ratting battleships. You better not give me a ticket. You gave me a ticket, you jerk. Anything behind us? No. Let's do the stupid. I need to get into the truck in order to complete this backup. Okay. If it was any other time of day, we would not have been able to pull that off. But yeah, I've gotten real. The blueprints aren't the best blueprints you can find. The other ship that I fly and can get blueprints of, known as the Gila, that's actually worth more. I have to sneeze. But I haven't gotten those sites. But the Rattlesnake blueprints are worth about 200 million each. So I've got 2 of those. It's 400 million. Plus the bounties I've gotten from the few. I haven't done too many. The few combat sites that I've done. It's about another 200 million. Combine all of that with God, man, a little bit more, a little bit more. Boink. Whatever works. Combine that with what I already had in the container, and I think I've got about 2.2 billion total. So in a week's time, that started before I bought the Plex, I've already almost made up the price of them. And I'm still just shaking my head laughing that I was actually worried about making up the value of them. And it was kind of a wake-up call to me to maybe try and be a little bit more responsible if I can. It's been a tough time. Things have been very stressful around where I live lately, around my house. And I kind of have a hard time sometimes calling it my house, but it's where I live. Things have been really, really stressful. You know, it got to the point where I decided, enough's enough, and I busted into an emergency credit card that I kind of promised myself I wouldn't use, and I took my wife and myself out to dinner at this place known as Serpico's, which is I knew existed, but I didn't know exactly what it was, and I had never actually gone there for a very long time, which is real funny because as somebody who was born and raised into an Italian house, and even though my grandmother was French Canadian, she married into an Italian family. And she was an extremely good cook who learned to cook Italian. And then, I lived in Massachusetts, where Boston doesn't have the strongest Italian showing. I think it's more of an Irish community. If you don't believe me, all I need to do is tell you Celtics. But still, there was a lot of great Italian places, and even around where I lived, there was these great Italian places. Oops, not off. I'm like losing track of what I'm doing. when I lived in a town in named called Hanson in Massachusetts. Hanson, Massachusetts. Right across, I know I lived at like the only four-way, four-light intersection um, in the town, and there was a place known as the Hanson House of Pizza, and it was run by a Greek family straight out of the homeland. I know Greek's not like Italian, it's not Italy, but still, the food was amazing. The meatball subs were to die for. I mean, it was a real meatball sub. It wasn't a bunch of meatballs thrown into a sub that would come out of a bag and some sauce, okay? How am I even slowed way the fuck down and still give me a speeding ticket. You know what? Screw you, game. But it was a really big, old-style meatball, really huge thing that got sliced up, okay? Sliced. And then was put into a sub with sauce. That is a real meatball sub. That is a real meatball sub. Enough toll booths already? Jesus. Number one bane in this game as far as I'm concerned. But I also lived in a town, and Hanson was next door to a town when I lived there called Hellofax. Again, it was another one four-way intersection, four light town, and it had a place. It was an Italian restaurant. I think it was Nezzarella's. See, the thing is I can't remember if Nezzarella's was the restaurant or if it was the greenhouse, the place that sold like not only it sold vegetables and whatnot, but also sold like house plants and everything. I can't remember if Nezzarella's was the restaurant or if it was the greenhouse. You know what? Just go screw yourself, game. I'm not in the mood to go slow today. But, you know, I was around a lot of Italian. Well, since moving to Hawaii, I've had like one of the most impossible times finding what I consider good Italian food. You know, and you know, it's not like a huge surprise, but it has been aggravating. And then yesterday, when I made the decision to take my wife out to eat, well, I was looking for a place, unbeknownst to her, I was looking online for a place to take us. And at first I was actually kind of looking, maybe, you know, there's a nice buffet, you know, because why not? When you're having a stressful week and, you know, you're depressed, not feeling well, sometimes you just want to eat. And, you know, that's just kind of the way I felt at that point. But buffets are apparently a few and far between thing here on the island. They appear to be either brunch or luau's mostly, with occasional buffets being on very specific days. As a matter of fact, considering, just to be honest with you, considering the way a lot of Hawaiian people eat, and the sheer lack of an actual buffet restaurant here on Maui, if somebody were able to come in and get a good foothold and be able to manage and get through the first couple years where you tend to like lose a little bit of money or a lot of it, I'm not entirely sure. You could probably make a killing with a buffet restaurant here on the island, like let's see, back in Massachusetts again. I think it was the Old Country House, the Old Country Buffet. That was just a restaurant that only did buffets. Specifically was buffet only. A place like that could make a killing here. But I digress here. So I was looking, couldn't find anything. Didn't want to take her like to places that we always go to because it just didn't feel right. It was like we needed an entire change of scenery. And so finally I'd come to the conclusion, so you know what, I'm just going to look and see for the hell of it if I can find, an Italian restaurant once and for all. So I, God, my nose. So I looked online, I typed in Maui Italian restaurants. And, right at the top was ye old typical Bada Bing's, which is in Kihei. And that's just too showy, too loud. That's more like bar restaurant than it is restaurant. That's just not something I was looking for. It felt a little, Bada Bing's, it's a good place. It's got good food. There's no doubt about that. But it's just not something I wanted to go to at that particular time. I wasn't into something like commercially. I was looking for something a little more quiet. And finally I came across the name Serpico's, and I was like, wait, that's the place that's right here in Pukalani. It's like 20 minutes away. If that, it's maybe even like 15, 10, I don't know, not that far. And I was like, starting to look over their menu. I was like, oh, fine, I'll just check it out for the hell of it. And oh my God, not only do they have like pizzas, but they had lasagna, primaveras. They had they had chicken parmesan, veal parmesan, stuffed raviolis, calzones, actual real life, true to God calzones.
Let's have those instead of pizza.
And I was like, wow, really? And so I decided, I'm taking my wife there. I am taking my wife to Serpico's. And we went. And it's this little tiny, itty-bitty eating area they have. But it's really nice. And the food, oh, God. You can actually, instead of tasting sugar and salt, like you do at places like Pizza Hut and Domino's and Little Caesars and all this stuff, yeah, you could actually taste tomatoes in the sauce. You could taste the actual you could taste the actual spices. All right. This wasn't this wasn't like jarred stuff, store bought. This was homemade. It was real. And it was awesome. Ordered up a meatball and sausage calzone. And oh my God. The outside, the doughiness and the crust, and just choke packed full of mozzarella cheese with sliced meatball and sausage. Oh, it was so good. So I've basically found a new place that if I want something to eat, I can get from there rather than a place like rather than a place like going to McDonald's. God, man, the speeding tickets, I tell you. They still irk me. I don't like them, but I've lately been in the mood where I just don't care. I don't want, I don't want to bother. I just want to drive. I've almost considered a mod that just eliminates them completely. But, meh. So yeah, that's just what it is. It's like, I don't even want to, like, deal with McDonald's anymore. I'd rather order from Serpico's because I'll spend, close to the same amount. If I take just the calzone that me and my wife had and eliminate the soda that we ordered, which was the only drawback, the drinks are small. When you order a drink, you get one size, and I don't know if the refills are free or not. It didn't seem like it. Because we got charged for... We drank 6, but I think we got charged for 4. We drank 6 total sodas each, which didn't even equal 1 large out of McDonald's. But if you take out the French fries, garlic bread, and sodas that we had, and just go with the calzones and the tip, and I gave a $10 tip. You could, like, if you're just ordering to go, you could do like $2 or $3 easily. If I do that, I'll spend less than what I would normally spend at McDonald's, get better food, and arguably, depending on what you order, it can be healthier. So it's like, I'm done with McDonald's. I'm almost 100% positive I am done with McDonald's. Even the French fries are better. Even the French fries at Serpico's better than McDonald's French fries. So, I really don't think I'd bother with McDonald's anymore. Unless all I have is like a couple bucks. Then I can get like cheeseburgers or chicken sandwich. Nope. Well, actually, yeah, that is the one we're going to, isn't it? We're going here, and then you like cross to here. I don't know if we're going to get a full reset on our stamina bar. If we do, and we did, I think I'm just going to end the video here. And then the next video will be to the next ferry, and then the final video will for this series will probably be the that part in Africa will be the final video. Lost my train of thought there for a minute. I just want to see something. This is going to be a spoiler, so I am sorry about that. I just want to see the Euro 6. The base Euro 6 is 102,000. This one is 156,000. 182. And you get multi-axle, 194,000. This has probably got the everything, right? And this is 6x2 tailgate lift. I don't like that. I don't like tailgate lift. I only did that one time, but it's like too unstable. You've almost always got to put your rear axle down while towing with a tailgate lift. Otherwise, you tend to rock back a lot more. I'd rather do something like this and just change this to a 6x2 mid lift. So yeah, I'm looking maybe to get a DAF Euro, But I was just curious of the prices and decided to look while thinking about it. But, alright folks, that's going to be me done for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. Until next time, this is going to be One Big Bugger. I'm going to be signing out, and I'm going to Serpicos.